Yo, 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 yo.
Welcome in, welcome in.
What you looking for?
Hey, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming in today.
Of
Y'all,
course.
I said, let me start so I can get people, in here. What does this say right here? I clicked the link, y'all. I put the link in the comments in case anybody want to come up here. I feel like that was the easiest way. I don't know if they're going to be able to click the link or not.
Yeah, I was able to click the link and come up.
Okay, great. Awesome. Well, I wanted to start talking about a subject about parenting and peace, because it's something that I feel is important, when two parents can, raise the child together, whether y'all are in a relationship or you're not, and the importance of it and stuff. And Kenya, you are a parent, of beautiful daughters. So the perspectives, even being a parent, because even single parents, a lot of them lose patience and stuff if they don't have like help or people to help babysit stuff like that. They get frustrated and they be like, man, being a single parent is stressful, and it's like they can't find peace in it some kind of way. So I'm hoping this show will bring some light that you can find some peace being a parent.
Yeah. Like my daughter, I'm a grandparent and she's 18, about to be 19. And I know that I was a young parent. I started I had my baby at 18. And my mom and them, they kind of, looked out a little bit, not as much as I think they should, but it helps because especially being young like that and you're able to do your own thing now, and then now you feel tied down with a child. By me helping my daughter still be able to go out there and enjoy her baby, as long as she does it in peace,
Hmm.
then I don't have a problem watching my grandbaby, because I don't want her to resent the fact that she feels like she lost that young adulthood, you
Oh, that's
know.
beautiful. Yes, and that is so needed, and that's beautiful that you see it from that perspective and actually doing it, because it really is important, because a lot of them do have that feeling like they didn't get to enjoy life because they had a child. And from where I grew up, the elderly used to say, if you have a child, you're gonna destroy your life. You don't have to give up on your dreams. And they used to put having a child out there so negative, to where I've seen a lot of young women either wanted to abort the child, or they felt like they fell into a depression because they feel like they got a baby, especially if them and the baby father is not together. It makes them even more depressed, and then they start resenting the child, and it don't
Yes.
have to be that way. um you can find a way to balance, and not look at it like how your grandma and them, wanted you to look at it, like your life and your dreams and stuff are over with. Because you can still go after your goals and your dreams because you have children. That motivated me more to,
Yep.
go after my goals and my dreams, because I have something that I created that I want to be that example to. So I didn't feel like
And
I was hopeless and stuff, and that I was wrong for having a child and stuff.
they program that in our head. Like me, I live by the motto, basically it takes a village to raise a child, and by me being here for my daughter and my granddaughter, then I'm helping raise her to be a better person. A lot of parents, they don't get that help when they were younger, and so when they get older or whatever, they now they want to live their youth, but now you're older and you should be helping, for me, your children, you know.
Right. And I just want to let people know, because we're on TikTok too. I have it posted on TikTok. You're so right. Someone in the comments, oh, Queen said they wanted the link. The link, if you go to my page on TikTok, I have a link tree link, and it has a YouTube link right there. That'll be the easiest way right now, being that we're already live. It's a link that'll lead you to it on my TikTok page. I sent Coco the link though to get
And
to
then,
my YouTube channel, so I don't know. Queen.
and then once you get to YouTube, you'll see a link that says StreamYard.
Right. It takes you
You can,
directly to the channel. And I thought I sent the other Coco too. I thought I sent both Cocos a link. My apologies if I didn't, y'all. But yes, it's very important, like you said, because they do try to program that in us, and that's why a lot of abortions happen. Because a lot of girls that I knew were afraid of if their grandma and them. I watched my sister get kicked out the house at 16 because she got pregnant, and everybody was like, "You can't live here anymore. We're not gonna raise a baby that you had." They kicked her out. So that right there stirred up a whole energy for her with a connection with her child because she feels like she's being punished by her own family because she had a child. And that right there, I saw that hit a whole nother level for me. I was like, wow. So by my sister, young and laying down having sex, and she, got pregnant mistakenly, she can't have a roof over her head. And that's when reality, hit me at that time, and I was like, wow, this is some deep stuff. So I was afraid to even have children. I don't know. It just was putting like a psychological in me at the time, because watching all that, like, dang, I could be at risk of get kicked out and everything behind having a child. That's not a parent. That's not even parenting in peace. You know, you didn't kick your daughter out because she got pregnant. So I was like, that's not a parent in peace, and we shouldn't be that way. That's for the mothers and out there that look at it like that. I don't think it's right for you to kick your daughter out the household because she got pregnant, or force her to even have an abortion behind it. But hey, that's a part of my parenting piece perspective. Welcome in, Coco.
Hello, hello, ladies. What's good
How you-
with you?
We are good. How are you today?
Oh man, good. It's been a peaceful vibe of a day, honey. So I just been sitting in it.
I know that's right. I didn't ask Kenya how her day been.
Hello, hello.
I hope her day been good too. I got a little sun in. I didn't hug my trees today, but it's all good. I'll probably catch that tree later tomorrow. It's gonna feel good.
You
So we're
know
in
what?
the building
I
on
wish I
parent.
would hug more trees, but I ain't gonna lie. I got a little trauma because the last tree I hugged had ants on it. I gotta find another one. I got.
Yeah, God, oh my goodness, don't let it fail you, girl. We got bitten, got all when we was little kids running around with no shoes and stuff on.
Okay.
But yeah, we were in here building on the parenting piece, and I be wanting to know other people's perspectives outside of my own when it comes to parenting piece, whether you're with the father or you not, or just in general being a parent, and finding
Mhm.
peace in it because it can be a stressful topic, and and the kids are not, it just it don't come with instruction or nothing like that. So
Yeah. You know what? I appreciate my parents that raised me. I was raised by my mom and my stepdad for the most part. And there's a lot of things that I bring with me from that. And there's a lot of things that I have been blessed to upgrade or, leave out. And it's still a process. I have my oldest is 13 and my youngest is going to be 2 this month. And I have 4 kids.
oh,
So I'm still learning, still growing with them. But
wow.
I feel like parenting in peace is more so easily done when you can give yourself grace, give your parents some grace, if possible. Hopefully it is in peace so that you can, relinquish some past traumas and hurts and then see what works for you and your kids in that situation. I'm currently a single mother.
Okay.
I'm a widow actually. So my husband passed away 7 years ago.
Sorry
So
to hear that.
I have our babies and Are my ex, and not ex, they are my babies, but some within the marriage and some without of the marriage. And so I'm learning this new portion of co-parenting right now, and it's an interesting journey, to say the
Yeah,
least.
right.
But it's something that I feel like in order to be able to parent in peace, like you just got to find what actually brings you peace with dealing with, co-parenting or single parenting or joint, like husband, wife, or both parents in the household. Because either way, you're dealing with different perceptions, different upbringings. You must take in consideration your partner's or your co-parents' upbringing, even if they're not even in the picture. You know what I mean? You still have to bring up their upbringings because, spiritually speaking, your children will be linked to that in some way.
Right.
I just think it takes time, and it takes being able to give yourself, and I say that repeatedly because I believe that strongly. You got to be able to give yourself grace so much, in wanting to even parent in peace. Like, I can't tell nobody whether you should or should not whoop your kids. I definitely don't think you should abuse them or take out your frustrations on them. But other than that, however it needs to be done, you got to be led. You know, you got to
Right.
seek that. And all
Exactly.
kids, I do believe some may need it, but some may not need that. I currently am not a spanker, but it ain't strictly forbidden. You feel me? Like,
Right.
whatever needs to happen if it needs to happen. But
Exactly.
I try not to make that my go to. My 13-year old standing right here, so
Mhm.
she's like, she's my oldest, and she runs away now. So I think she think I'm gonna put on the camera. I'm not gonna do
Yeah.
that.
Case.
But I try to be as open with them as possible because part of my trauma felt like came from being sheltered from so much information, though it was done with the greatest of intentions, from my parents, but it was just a lot that I feel we could teach them as they're, at their maturity level, what they're able to
Right.
understand about
Exactly.
dealing with their, other parents or family members or just dealing with life.
Right.
So shoot, it's a journey. It's not for the weak. And for
No.
those who it comes weeks to, this ain't no shame or judgment on them. It's just saying, hey, we understand that shoot. Maybe you were
Exactly.
blessed to be just a vessel, whatever the case may be.
Exactly. Exactly. Do you got any kind of advice on how these new parents, like people that are new parents, how advice on how you keep your daughters calm? Because Kenya daughters, they be very calm, and her 6 year old, and them, they're very respectful. You could tell she
Um,
don't, her kids don't be wild.
Yeah, even the 6-month-old, she don't barely cry.
Exactly.
no.
Is there a
Well,
way you?
I'm a firm believer on not spanking because I mean that's just violence. You're just showing how to be violent
Mm-hmm.
in my eyes. I'm a firm believer that you should take away privileges.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I make my children write definitions in the dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do bad, then you can sit up and write all the A's, all in the
Right.
letter A. They're learning at the same time.
I like that.
I like
Um, but like whooping a kid. Now the only time they might get popped is if they go run out in the street and almost got hit by a car. That's just gonna be
Right,
a
right.
natural reaction to pop them. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But to sit there and just whoop them because they did something
Mm-hmm.
mischievous. A kid at that age is gonna be mischievous because they're curious. That's
Right.
crazy to me.
right. Exactly.
And
Exactly.
and then I tell like my children, I mean, like if anybody ever touched you, let me know. Even if they say, "Oh, I'm going to hurt your mom," that's a lie. Don't worry about it. That's what they say. You know. Um, I just told them to be honest with me. I rather you be honest with me, and then it be something bad, and we can deal with it. Than you lie. I find out later. Now you're testing my intelligence,
Hmm.
and then we have a problem.
Right.
Right.
Because then they go unhealed with trauma that they was afraid to come to you about.
Mm-hmm.
But you spoke to them about it, so that way you instilled it. That's important too. as a parent so that child can have a peaceful life. Let them know things like that do exist because it's a harsh world out here. You know what I'm saying? It's reality. So it's like you can parent in peace too by giving them the real reality of what life really is and not trying to hide it from them and think that they're not going to have to experience it at some point in life. Because the
Right.
older they're going to be walking around like lost souls because you tried to
Exactly.
think that you're protecting
Exactly.
them for what really reality.
Right.
Exactly. Be honest with them. They're going to see it eventually. It's better that they be prepared for it than not
Yes.
prepared, and then got other people leading them.
Because you didn't give it to them, that somebody else can easily come in and give it to them the way they view it, and it could be the wrong way. So
Yep.
yeah,
Hmm.
most definitely. Really,
Absolutely.
I wanted to
And
play this video too. What you was gonna say, Kenya?
And then I was going to also say with women, I noticed a lot of women, and I was like this in my younger age that I felt like I needed a boyfriend. You can't really trust all these men out here. You can't bring every man,
Mhm.
especially when you have daughters around you, even sons too. Nowadays,
Right.
Yes,
you got to actually know as much as you can from a person because really you never really know a person.
Right.
exactly. And
Big
I told
facts.
I give that advice all the time to people that are, you know, I be like, have you did a background check on the guy before you bring him around your children? And do you know anything about him? You got to know. You got to really dig into the background of a person that you meet and or either have a children by and all of that, because the things I know
Yeah.
now, I have to make sure, the grandmother, the grandfather, is they well mental or what. You got to know a lot of things.
Right.
Health issues is we start thinking about a lot the more you get about considering. So I give people a lot of advice from what I didn't understand growing up and having children,
Yeah.
and seeing and checking the background because I became a victim of parent alienation because I didn't understand how to really check the background of the person that I was having the baby by. So I didn't know
Yeah.
I was an enemy and that he was going to use my son and try to keep him from me and turn him against me. So I like to give all I can to the younger girls and the people that's growing up or going through, having babies. You have to make sure you know who you're laying with because it can become a situation like I'm dealing with, where you can't parent in peace because the other parent ain't even trying to parent with you in peace. They just stuck in their own ways and dealing with their own unhealed issues from their past and so on, you know. And
Hmm.
because they was abusive and you left them because of the abuse. Now they're abusing the child and they don't even realize it, evidently, because they're doing it intentionally. And I've seen situations where people are taking people's children and for no reason, like because they can't get along with each other. So the
And
mom tells the father, "You can't see him, and if you can, I got to be right there watching you." And it becomes a whole war, and the poor child is the one freaking suffering between two parents that can't even have a difference, the understanding with each
Yeah.
and And another thing I noticed too with parents, like with me, with my child could be dead wrong in front of people, but I'm going to take their side, and then later on, I'm going to tell them you were dead wrong. I'm going to show my child I'm an ally, but around people who are trying to make them out to be bad, like with the schooling system, I took my child's side regardless of the fact. But when we got home, I told her, "Don't do that no more."
Right.
other. Right.
Right.
Exactly. That's
We
exactly
have
how
to
you do it.
advocate for them for sure because even when they're wrong, right, to the world, all the world need to know is you're not gonna play with this one. And when we get home, we're gonna handle this and we're gonna teach and we're gonna get it together. But we're not gonna play with this one.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, my
Exactly.
mom was in the school system for almost 30 years and she that's exactly how she, taught it to me when I started having kids. She was like, we when you show up. And of course, at that time, she was speaking specifically about, school wise, but I just take it for a world grand scheme, but you got to show up for them out there so people will know, okay, this ain't just, and it's, of course, nobody should treat kids like that anyway, but they going to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So we have to make sure that we are ready to advocate for them, whether they right or wrong, just so they know you're not going to railroad them and think it's going to come without a fight.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. Fact. I just wanted to play this quick little thing because a lot of people are going through this where they can't see their children and they don't know how to identify what's going on.
What
So I just
exactly
wanted to
is
play some of this.
parental alienation? It's a family dynamic in which a child's been manipulated by one parent to reject the other parent who did nothing to deserve the rejection. It's a steady stream of negative messaging to the child that
This
everything that
is a
other
mental
parent does
issue
is
that gets
bad,
brushed under
wrong,
the
stupid,
rug.
contemptible, and an indication that the parent doesn't love the child.
Michelle Nyrider would tell people that she felt that her ex-husband was alienating the kids. And people tended not to believe her.
Sadly, many mental health and legal professionals are untrained. But even when a judge sees it,
I went
they
to
don't
and they
know
didn't
what to
take
do
it
about it.
serious.
You can see why that would be so damaging on the targeted parent, the parent whose kids are turning away. Is it also terribly damaging on the kids? I mean, why does this matter?
That's a great question. I started by interviewing adults who had this experience as kids. These are people who said to their parent, I hate you, don't ever darken my doorway again, I don't want to see you anymore. And it was stunning. They talk about a lifetime of depression and despair and anxiety and low self-esteem and shame. What is this girl who participated in this murder of her mother? I mean, when she comes around, the pain that she's going to experience, the guilt and the shame. How could I have been so stupid? Why did I listen to my father that my mother was horrible? Why did I break my mother's heart?
Why did I help kill my mother?
My understanding of this case is that two things happened to an extreme degree. One is she did not believe that her mother loved her. And the other is she was dependent on her father. And I think that she did what made sense to her, which was to preserve a relationship with a caregiving parent rather than be abandoned by him. And
So I just wanted to play just a little snippet of that because it's more to it. But uh that lady ain't even no longer here, and because of the parent turns her against the other parent, the child resent the fact that she allowed or either was programmed. It's not even that she should be beating herself up because of it, because she was too young to know that she was being programmed to live without her mother through the father because the father had issues with the mother. And it goes on so much. And it don't be just the mom, it's the fathers that do it too, growing up, it used to be the females that used to keep. I used to see the females want to keep the father away because either he didn't want to be with her anymore or anything like that. And so she got mad and said, well, if we can't be together, then you can't see your child. And they're affecting the child that way by doing this kind of stuff. Vice versa. There's going to be, I was told that my child, his father said, you're not going to be, my son ain't about to be raised by another man, and you ain't got to raise him either. And I'm going to take care of him, and you ain't got to worry about child support. And then he hung up and faded to black on me. I couldn't get in contact or nothing. It was crazy. But anyways, and I still try to this day, and he'll still block me, hang up. If I do find a way to call or find my son, how to contact him, and it's because he don't want a parent in peace. And there's a lot of people that's dealing with that. I seen a guy suffering on my wall, miserable because the baby mother don't want him to see the baby, and he ain't even did. So, I just wanted this because it's happening so much. I wanted to make this a discussion today, and I hope y'all still here. We still live, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
Y'all, so what y'all think about what y'all just heard? The little bit that y'all heard.
I
What
think
you
it's sad that it will go to that amount. But see, here's the thing, and this is just to let you know about Coco off the board, because I have to tell my best friend this too.
Mhm.
Anytime I hear, it's just always a lot of different sides to the situation, any situation. You know what I mean? And that's not me trying to justify what happened to her, whether it should or should not have happened, right? Off top. But as far as from what we heard so far, I do know of people who have conditioned their children to think certain ways about the other parent. Like that's a reality that definitely goes on.
Mhm.
Oh wow. And so I don't know. It's a tough situation, and I think as much as you can, like as much as I don't like to get the people involved in our family business, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as the courts and stuff like that, if it's necessary, you know what I'm saying, in situations such as that, I definitely think that, you should fight for your right to the fullest extent of whatever's going on to prove what's fact, what's fiction, and what needs to be corrected.
Yeah. And it's like the identification of it first off, because people haven't even identified what it is. That's why the lady said the system not even equipped
Right.
to handle it when people do come forward. But bringing more awareness to it is important too. To let people know that are going through it that there is, like you said, something that can be done. Just keep fighting, even though the system, whoever else, may be trying to reject it. And like I said, if the parent is like abusive and the child gonna be in harm's way or something, I understand why the other parent would want
Mm,
the child to, be away, because they see that that parent ain't mentally stable and all the other kind of, what I'm saying, the child could really be at risk. I'm not talking about them type of situations.
mm-hmm.
I'm talking about when it's really just out of some type of ego and unhealed issues that the other parent has psychologically. Because a parent, some people grow up without their parents, so hurt people's. They be like, I was told before, since I didn't have a father growing up, neither will your child either that I had by you. I was told that before,
Yeah,
and I was like, dang, and that made me realize, okay, somebody is unhealed and is hurt from their past, so he don't know how it feels to have a father, so he's doing it too to his own children repeatedly, you
yeah,
know, having them and dipping. And it's like it's a thing that you got to come to grips with at some point as a parent. If you are like that, to make sure you're not doing that on both ends, because the child is the one that's the really one getting hit,
absolutely.
and they end up PTSD on medicine and all kind of stuff just to
Hmm.
cope with it. The fact that one parent is no longer there. Even grieving a parent. You know,
Hmm.
gotta find peace in that, because when people lose parents, I've seen people end up on drugs and just go downhill once they lose a parent. And it's kind of like losing a parent, when the other parent is not even in the child's life, because of, it's unaliving them without unaliving them, really, when it comes to the parent annihilation. And I know people who told their children that the father is no longer living, and that was a lie, just because they don't
Dang.
want to parent in peace.
Dang. Yeah. Like I got two situations where the parents not around. One is my middle daughter. She's 18, be 19 this month, and her dad died, or yeah, died during COVID. They said it was COVID, but I think he got the vax. Because he was getting better and then it was like downhill, like for 2 days. And she loved her dad and he was around. So like she's got like a whole shrine in the house.
Wow. Yeah, you were
And then
showing
my
me
youngest
you faded out.
grown and he's gonna be old, but
So
sorry,
how you
say
been
that
helping
again.
her get through the grieving part? What's some advice for people who could be going through that right now that you having to do with your daughter? Like,
Well, I
just
see
maybe,
my granddaughter, I genuinely feel like it's him coming back. Um, I had signs, like I was looking up the coat of arms for his or for her last name. which was tombs. And then right next to that coat of arms was her dad's name. His name was Irvin, and it was in a coat of arms. And then, like, when I saw the sonogram, I was like, that looks just like your daddy. And then she has a spot on her face, like a little circle spot that's the same color he was, because she's like a lighter tone, but it was the same color as he was.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then she's like chill. 6 months old, she'd just be chilling like he did.
See, you would recognize his energies, and if you can recognize it, then that's just what it is,
I
because they
think,
do come back, like I've watched it happen so many times.
yeah, so I
It
tell her
really
that
do
it's her dad.
out.
Yeah, so I tell her that's her dad, and she feels that too. She feels it too. So it's not like she lost him because he's there and she gets to raise
Beautiful,
him.
beautiful. I love that. That's some great tips
That's
and advice.
it's very beautiful.
Yeah, because I feel like this time right now, they're able to come back faster. I just feel like you can come back if you want.
Mm-hmm.
He chose to come back, as a girl. She's a girl, but I feel like women started the world, so I feel like it's a cycle, and we're gonna go back to that. And those men who understand it, um, because at first, when you're in your mom's belly as a man, you are a girl. I feel like you have the option to go back to being a girl, and it starts all over again. And then hopefully we can remember to learn from whatever mistakes that happened during that time.
Hmm. Yeah, but that's good advice that you were saying how she can, you know, that she's my mom. I feel the same way. My niece, she was already pregnant before my mom transitioned,
Hmm.
but I dreamed the night before that she had the baby and it looked just like my mom in the dream. And when I woke up, my sister said, "Guess what? I should have had a baby," which I still haven't been able to see what the baby looked like. But she had the baby and they had the same life path number and everything. Like it was crazy. And
Hmm.
the song they came on at the time that I got the call, it was just so much adding up mathematically
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
where we feel like it was our mom. We know it's her coming back through. And
Hmm.
my great niece. And she probably don't act just like my mom. I bet she giving my niece a piece of the she give her time. I already know she is. You know what I'm saying? But it's beautiful how they can come back. Cause I watched my goddaughter father transition, and right after he transitioned, she got a son, and he acts and looks just like her dad. Overprotective of her and everything, just like her dad was, and all. He loved her mom. He loved her just like her dad loved her. That's him all over in a whole new body.
Yep. Yep.
I hate I couldn't join, but maybe I'll be a part two next time. Oh, it's no worries. I said whoever can come up here to come, y'all welcome to click that link and come up here. I'm glad that y'all too was able to come through today. I was kind of last minute with it, you know. Um, but it's all good. I thought I was gonna get my promo done a little before Friday, but Indian business was ahead of the.
Well, we need to learn how to do it.
And
We
I'm
need to
gonna
learn
do an
how to.
episode on Indian and peace. So, I'll be able to get probably that's probably gonna be the most people once I do that episode, because I woke up this morning being attacked because I'm an Indian. So I have to definitely do the
It's like.
episode on that. I'm over there atting you, Kenya, like, where you at, Kenya, when I need you? I'm being attacked by a lady named Sissy in the name of my mama.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah.
um,
Well, I get attacked every day. I enjoy it. It just makes my energy even more. I was like you. It's like I rent space in their mind. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I like it. Keep it on.
Young Jay, I didn't know. Young Jay must have not been able to come up either because I wanted her to come up today. She had 6 children, six
Oh yeah.
by herself. So I really wanted her to come and give some advice because she knows how to, her children be so peaceful. For her to have six on her own, and the way she was able to maneuver with him and how well behaved. So I guess I'm gonna have to catch Young Jay the next episode because she ain't came up here yet on YouTube. She must be busy with him. Hey, Papa Pat,
What's up?
how you doing?
I don't think some people on TikTok know because people were asking me, and I told them to go to the TikTok because they're all on TikTok, but I don't think they know how to get to the YouTube from TikTok.
They can go to her bio and then click the link tree, and you'll see like a YouTube symbol. You click the YouTube symbol, and it takes you straight to her YouTube page.
So yeah,
And
Yeah.
so
then
you might want to. I might try to. You might want to put that in the comment section on TikTok, like to go
Okay.
to your bio.
I'm about to say it now.
but you gotta put it on your side too. And who's your mod over there? Are you on still Papa Patch on TikTok?
No,
Oh,
I put it in the comment section so I can pin it. Yeah.
here.
I put it. I love it so much, and it's a great topic for me for sure. So hopefully it comes back around. Of course, it'll come back around. Welcome back, Coco.
Yeah,
And I
girl,
just
I'm gonna kick myself out.
I about cried because I wanted a male perspective of parenting and peace
There you go.
today. And Papa Patch, I wanted his opinion on the parenting and peace part because his name Papa. So I just wanted, what I'm saying, his intake too. Because, it ain't, I don't want it to be just a female perspective. I invited other males too. One of the guys, my friends, was saying he was out fishing. So, it was kind of last minute this time, but I'm going to be more prepared for the next episode. So I just wanted to see what your perspective was.
um, perspective on parent
Yeah,
on
any advice on parenting and peace, even when you haven't been able to raise the child or you have been able to, or if it's, from your point of view, what is peace when it comes to parents?
well, like I said on the first podcast, I think peace comes from within first, and um, the person that may not be dealing with peace inside themselves, they may be unbalanced. And when it comes to the child shouldn't be the victim of that unbalance. If one person is in peace and the other one's not, or either both of them not in peace within themselves, then I don't think it's going to be beneficial towards the child. But when a child was created, it had to be some moment of peace, even if it didn't last long. You know what I mean? So my advice would be that you took two pieces and created a third piece. So at the end of the day, um, try to know that that's no matter what somebody is trying to do, whether it's the government, whether it's the person that you may be in the relationship with, or things change and you're not, whether they hear or they transform, that you have to find that peace within yourself to be able to know that that child is also a piece of you because he's carrying, especially with a female, he's carrying a gene that is gonna be with them forever, and it's gonna keep getting passed down. So the, to be able to parent in peace is like don't base the parenting on government standards. Don't base it on people that are not in peace. If you see that you're dealing with someone that's not in peace, don't let it disturb your peace. Take care of the peace that you created. Protect the peace that you created. Because I think it's just like earth that if you plant a flower, if you plant something in the ground, eventually it grows, it can take care of you. You know what I'm saying? So like if you plant some fruit or something, eventually you can eat the fruit and it provides nourishment to you. So same thing with children. If you it's if you created them and you instill the love and stuff that's required, then they can grow up to actually take care of you as you get older. And I think
Right.
that's the whole cycle of nature. Is each one teach one, take care, take care of take care, taking care of each other in the process.
You're so right. That's so real. Is that's important, like you said, and that's the root, and that's why a lot of people are unhealed because they don't have the inner peace, and I think that stems from why people have the parent and alienation thing, and the peace is not there, like you said, because of their childhood trauma goes unhealed. Hey, Young Jay, welcome in.
How you doing?
I am in peace. I'm glad to have you all here today, y'all. I was just telling y'all about Young Jay. She has 6 children, single mother, and her children definitely are like very chill children for her to be doing it on her own. So I wanted her to come up here today too and share some advice and stuff on how, being a parent of 6 and being able to keep her peace while doing that. 'Cause some people be
Mm.
going haywire with just 2 and be telling me, Ricky, I can't handle these children. They're going crazy and I don't know what to do. They're tearing my house down. They're fighting each other. I be getting hit with all that. I wonder how
Well,
you keep yours so tender, Young Jane.
can you repeat that? Because it's like echoing on me.
I said we just wanted some advice and some tips on how you keep your children balanced and how you do it in peace.
All right. Well, the first thing I could say for real, just to keep it real, is trusting myself even when I'm in doubt. Um, and also just reminding myself that, just literally being in the now and realizing that they didn't ask to be here, right? And also praying for peace. You know what I mean? Because I've been through a lot and I had to pray for peace, for real. That's all I can really say, y'all. Literally keeping track of what I'm feeling, sitting in my feelings and just going with that, and also expressing to my children in a way that they can understand about even what I'm feeling, and if that makes sense, if y'all understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I believe that's a part of the piece right there, is also letting your children see some things and explaining to them about life in certain ways where it's appropriate.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Keeping it 100, plain and simple. Don't try to hide too much and all that. You know how us parents do.
Yeah, I was saying that we were talking about that earlier. Exactly.
You know how they do. So just literally keeping it real.
Yeah, 'cause life ain't no joke out here, so you gotta reveal to them what it really is, so they won't be lost in the world and can't be easily swayed into doing things and stuff and trying things and all that. So yeah.
So that's
Um,
that's yeah.
so with
That,
punishing your children, how when they do something bad and they might be cutting up for the day and you want to calm them out, what are some of your regimens for the parents out there that need some advice on how you calm them down?
I take snacks away. Um, I do pop feet. And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I pop feet. I give them at least 2 warnings for real. But after that warning, I have to pop the feet or go in your room. But other than
Hmm.
that, it's really mostly talking.
Okay.
As you can see, when I be on live, I let them, do them. They don't be extra, nothing like that. But it's all about communication for real, for real.
Right.
It's all about
Yeah.
to the point where you ain't even gotta spank them. You can take them snacks away.
Mhm.
Stuff like that. Literally, that's what works for me.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I got that.
You know what I'm saying? And
When you playing through the
also,
eyes, my mama had them eyes that make me look. She had to look at me, and I looked myself right back in track. She looked
Mhm.
through her soul. She looked at me through her soul, which is her eyes. and I knew
I'm
not to
on
play.
mute right now trying to parent in peace because I'm handling the situation at the moment. He doesn't want to come in from playing to get ready. So I am practicing
Oh yeah.
peaceful resolutions and communicating to him and letting him understand. I totally understand you're upset. It don't feel good, but this, we got to have a balance. And so, he's having a time with it, which I'm going to have to probably become more of a listener at the moment to the rest of the cast to get them ready.
You
But
came
it's
in
the
this
perfect opportunity to say, it's not always like this. There's times where I get upset, but you got to take yourself time to understand their viewpoint. Don't forget what it feel like to be a kid and feel disappointment and your goals, and you focused on the play and the fun, but creating that balance, baby, you got to have them consequences one way or another because that's the world we live in at the moment.
Yeah,
Um, I don't
exactly.
want I don't want to have to leave, but I might have to leave because I have to watch the weather. I know we're under
Oh,
a high
y'all
like tornado risk over here in the Dallas area. So
okay, y'all
Okay.
fine. Y'all already came. I appreciated the time y'all gave us, and
once
we
it
thank
Definitely
y'all.
my
passes,
pleasure.
then I'll come back on.
Okay, I
Okay,
appreciate you, y'all.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Um, okay. And yeah, and that's what Think was telling me the other day. She said she took her daughter to play at the trampoline spot, and when it was time for her to leave, she cut a little, up a little bit, and it made me flash back to when my sons used to get upset when they had to leave the playground, and if I took them to McDonald's and stuff, they used to have a fit out there trying to embarrass me. Mm,
Can I say something?
sure.
Okay, so this is it. I go through that a lot, and I ain't gonna lie, it's annoying. Keeping it real, it's annoying. Um, when kids act like that, because it's like, as parents, we have to reiterate all the time. So what I tell my children, like literally yesterday, we looked at it now. Before I say this is what I noticed. We went to go watch Nanny McPhee on Tubi, one of these things, and they've been watching it over and over. We'll get to a certain spot and we'll have to keep starting it over from the beginning because we want to, pay attention. So I peeped game that every time they watched Nanny McPhee, they was the kids was bad and they was getting all the snacks and eating them and da 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 da, right? Being bad. So guess what? I realized my children were copying,
Mhm.
right? So I said, oh, because they started getting in there. When I would try to doze off and take a nap, they would be doing so good. But ever since we started watching this Nanny McPhee, you know,
Mhm.
so now I said, all right. So I turned it off. Mind you, we ain't watched Nanny McPhee in a couple days for real, for real.
Mhm.
So they were way much better. Then I said, y'all, I said, we're going to watch a video on how God wants y'all to treat your parents and be good children.
Mhm.
That's what we did. We've been watching that for like 2 days. Not all day, just when it's time to take a nap, this is what you're going to listen to.
Okay.
Now, they've been acting way better. So
Beautiful.
a lot of times if we keep what I realized was helping me is turning on a video on how to treat your parents and then, guiding them that way. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
If we
beautiful.
stop and pay attention to what they're watching and da 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 da, then put on something positive for them to see,
Mhm.
and then that'll possibly, help. You know what I'm saying? So that's what helped me.
It does help. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're right because I used to catch my son sneaking and watching Adult Swim, and he know I didn't play this. He was younger, so he'll think that because he in his room, close his door, that I'm not finna be up on it. So I used to bust in there, and he in there watching Adult Swim, with all the cussing. It's because I'm wondering where the behavior coming from, and it was coming from him sneaking and watching the Adult Swim stuff. So it's what they do. I've seen children in neighborhoods, they're watching stuff on YouTube and stuff, and I'm hearing them repeating it. You know what I'm saying? And one scary one, because it was a YouTube video that was saying something about "Won't you play with my dingling?" And I was wondering why I'm hearing these little boys repeating this song, saying this to each other, but I'm learning that it's on YouTube and they've been watching a song saying it, so they're going around the neighborhood repeating that, and I'm looking at it like, what in the? So you do got to be careful and see what your children are watching. My niece, she could be watching a video, what appears to be a safe thing to watch. And then one day I was in there cooking and I'm looking at what she was watching, and in between it, they were sneaking subliminal, sexual messages in the middle of what's supposed to be a kid's show. So I was like, yeah, you gotta really be standing on what your children are being fed, because they even forcing to try to feed it on them in today's world. So
Hmm. And then, teaching them about the news and man, and letting them know that when you go to school, these kids are not that they're not getting what you getting at home. Everybody is different. So we got to teach our children real life, real life.
they don't
Ain't none
teach
of
them
that,
that in the school
they
system
don't
either.
teach them that. Like, ain't no fake stuff. Ain't no none of that. Be real. Be literally real in a way so when they grow up, they won't be as confused as us.
Exactly.
Because we were all jacked up wondering what our parents doing, why this, why that, why this, why that. If we could literally be in the now and literally look at our child and have gratitude for being able to see and understand what is going on, and that it's a blessing, and that we're
Yeah.
also being watched while as we take care of these children that are lended to us, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of our hookups. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm. I always say they put their rent in the parent word for a reason.
So it's a job within itself. It's not about us when we had these babies. Yeah, it's about us, but it's not about us.
Yeah.
If you get it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Hmm. And a lot of parents are not in peace because they feel like they got to put the children first, and they put everything that they desire on the back burner, and that their children come first. And I've seen a lot of them fall into depression. I've seen girls growing up in the hood. They be like, man, I know I need some new shoes, but at least JoJo got him some new Jordans on. And I'm like, you got to put you first, because if you're not first and taking care of yourself, you ain't gonna be able to take care of them children. Them
Yep.
shoes JoJo got that are Jordans and clothes ain't gonna set up nothing for his future. So you have to, what I'm saying, make sure you're balancing. You said where all y'all can come first. You know,
Yes.
I feel like all of us supposed to come first together, not no the child got to come first and that's it, or the parent. I'm talking about when it comes to paying bills and everything. Because if you get sick, your children can't cover and say, "I got this, mama," and what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
daddy. I'm gonna pay the bills now that you down. Or if you got holes and you don't got no decent shoes on and no work outfit, but I got my Jordans on. No, you take that money for them Jordans and stuff for JoJo and get you some clothes to wear to make sure you're working properly so you can buy JoJo them Jordans if you want JoJo to have them Jordans.
When it
But
comes when it comes to the economics, um, when you have like one child, you have to also prep them for the time that they're going to get to 18. So if they're not 18 and they're young, that means you got plenty of time to set them up a trust and set them up a business of their own. So then when they do turn 18, they can start with their own company versus having to go search for a job or something from someone else. And um, I think it's a blessing when she has that many children because that means that's that many opportunities and you got that many people that's going to be protecting you when they get older. You basically have a nation right there that's gonna you got you know what I'm saying, like you're training your own protectors and providers, so when they hit 18, 19, you can instill so much into them to where you can be walking around here looking like a little a little nation of your own. You know what I'm saying? Because like y'all hopping out the car and they jumping out, they may have guns with them. You feel me? Because they
Absolutely.
legal guns. You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
can when they young like that, you got an opportunity to not only teach them about themselves, but you can eventually, as they get into teenage age, teach them about weapons, teach them about economics, teach them how to like the brother that was probably that you was talking about earlier that was fishing, he probably, out there with his family fishing, you know what I'm saying? And you can
hmm
teach them all things like that. And I think that's real important. And to know that you don't just look at them the way that traditional society has us look at some of our children, where they'll be like, oh, he got to go to college is the only option, or working for someone else is the only option. When y'all have young people like that y'all raising in the 23, you should really consider making sure that they all have an opportunity to have their own options, to create their own situations, and it can be a family business, because all the names like Ford, um, almost all these companies, they have the last names of their family members. You know what I mean? So those are really family companies,
Right.
that America and people use every day. So we got to do the same thing. Somebody, um, like, let's say your last name is Brown, and then your children grow up and they got a company that represents that last name, or whatever name that y'all decide to go with. You could put that under one corporation and then give each one of those children subsidiaries under that corporation. So then the mother is the head of the corporation, but all the subsidiary companies, which are the children, are, protected by the mother umbrella company. And then so as they grow, their credit grows and the establishment grows. And then when they get 18, you can be like, all right, now y'all can become your own corporations, but y'all got a whole credit thing and you got the, everything set up for you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I would need help with that. And it's interesting because my daughter, she's 10, and she was talking about, she went on YouTube and was looking up how to make a lip scrub. So she grabbed some honey, olive oil, and some brown sugar. And then she didn't want to do that no more. So then she said, "You know what, mommy, I want to do a shea butter." I said, "Well, okay, we can come up with a business, and you got
Right.
to stick to it. Don't keep switching and switching and switching. You finish what you start. So if you don't want to do the lip scrub, you can still do it with shea butter." But I was just trying to help.
I'll
Um,
tell you a fun game, young Jay, that you can do too. When people think of Monopoly, they think about playing the game itself. But we used to take the Monopoly money and then charge them for breakfast, charge them for their room rent. You know what I mean? And because now they learn a responsibility of money, but it's just, it's Monopoly money. So you get the Monopoly game, you take the money out, and instead of playing it on the board, you play it in the house. You know what I'm saying? So you be like, oh, so you want some juice? $5. And if they ain't got it, you be like, oh, well, you gotta go clean your room, and then you're gonna get $20. You know what I'm saying? And you
yeah,
can educate them that way.
that sounds fun,
Yeah, that do
Hmm.
sound fun. It
and
does.
I'm gonna do it too.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
fun because it is teaching them that way. And so, yeah, you gotta let them know, hey, everything costs. It is.
I really like that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
definitely keep y'all posted
catch
about
up here.
that.
'Cause we be dropping them jewels when it
Yeah,
comes
I'm
to
gonna do that, and I'm gonna let
Yeah.
y'all know how that goes.
because
Yeah. Let me know who go broke.
All right, I'll let you know. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna be
let them
consistent
know
with
who
it.
go broke first, John Jay.
Hopefully, you don't rip the money up a little bit.
Right. They
The
might
twins
need a
like,
loan. They might need a loan. Like they might ball out of control. Be like, I want everything. I want eggs, juice, butter.
For real, that's fun.
if I'm paying for the chips, I know I just had four, Mom, but if I'm paying for it, I can't have five. It's gonna go in left.
Stomping the feet and everything.
You be like, the store's closed right now.
Right. Okay, that's a great idea.
But yeah, that is a wonderful idea. I wish I would have thought to do that with, mine back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this
Mhm.
call you. I might need to start doing that for real, giving some monopoly money.
Mhm. Definitely.
But I appreciate y'all coming up here today. It is important. Even because I was with Papa Patrick building on a friend of ours. She was like, I bought all my children business LLC, for their, Christmas gifts. And I was like, damn, that's pretty. I thought they was pretty intelligent. And I see children out here with property already. They're real estate agents at a young age and stuff. So it's like they're moving a whole lot more swifter, and there's a lot more resources and stuff today to utilize and information out there so they can have a better, chance in the start by the time they're 18, like you were saying, and not just
Mhm.
lost, don't know what direction to go to, and have to figure it out after school, after the system done programmed them to not figure it out.
Right.
Us to
Yeah,
allow it.
because the system will try to turn the parent into like a ignorant person and make it seem like the system that has all the answers. So then the child can grow up. If you don't teach them and instill it in them, they can grow up to start disregarding the parents' thoughts. You know what I mean? Like because they get to a point to where if you don't make sure you're putting those things in them, you're gonna have to reintroduce it to them later because the school system and the television, like you were saying, I heard you when you said that they would watch something and it would influence their behavior. Um,
Yes.
Yeah, so when they get to high school and stuff, if they have to go to a public school, they come back looking at you like, you don't even know this math. You don't even know this. What can you tell me? And they forget all the things that you done for them when they were younger. My kids are grown, but sometimes I talk to them as adults and they be talking to me and shit. And I'm like, boy, you don't even remember when you was little how fucked up you was. You know what I'm saying? And what I did for you. But fuck
Right.
it, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and talk the shit that you think you can talk, even though I did all kind of shit for you, but you don't even know about it because somebody lied to you and told you I didn't do it. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And
Right.
later on, it can turn into that.
Yeah, and my children, I basically, well, every day, every single day, I remind them that they are light beings. And, you're supposed to be the walking example. You know what I mean? And that's what I tell my children. And I let them know about the angel numbers and, we read up on things like that. And then I also journal, and when they see me journal, and I go by the signs and stuff like that, and I pay attention. So I mean, I'm not saying that they're not going to forget, but so far, um, I just let them know that you are the light and you walk with love and, stuff like that. So,
Yeah, you keeping it real with them, instilling it
yeah.
in them. That's what's up.
Yeah, you're giving them their own inner power and not saying it's outside of themselves. That's
Exactly.
what a lot of people was doing before. They was giving the power to everything outside of themselves, letting them see their own power. If we had growing up, if I had dreams and desires, they weren't trying to hear that. They'd be like, you need to
Right.
go be this, you need to go be that. They telling me what I need to go be, or do because they saw they knew, and they wasn't trying to look outside of the system, like he was saying, to go be like this
Hmm. Yep.
nurse, doctor, or whatever else they try to push on you only. Not that you can be dependent on yourself and work, become CEO too, and business owners. We never got that pushed on us growing up. My grandmother, she was the light to me knowing that it was possible. On my father's side, because she owned her own salon, and that woke me up. I thought that was amazing that my own grandmother had her own business and she, she hired people and worked for her and helped them too. You know,
Hmm.
I
Yeah, but
watched
it's
my
definitely,
godfather build his house from scratch, and he put his company in his daughter's name. When she was a little girl, he named his towel company after his daughter and started his business. So,
Yep. And we can't neglect the main thing that what parenting is the first part is the fact that you brought them into existence. You know what I'm saying? Like she was saying, um, on a metaphysical level, you could say that they um, they didn't ask to be here, but I mean, in a non-metaphysical, but in a metaphysical, it was an energy and frequency that took place for them to be here. So they actually, and then they came out to be here. So we can't lose those precious times because while you have that in that time frame, young Jay, those are some of the most and anybody else, King, I think you same thing. Anybody else that has them, those are the most amazing times and the most important time too, because like you saying, young Jay, you can instill so much into them because they still pure and they haven't been tainted by trial and error. Because y'all know, as we get older, we got to constantly remind ourselves that we are gods and goddesses because the world trying to tell us we ain't. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So when you can protect that spirit in them and keep them in tune, you could ain't no telling. You might be raising a person that's about to introduce something that's gonna save a whole bunch of lives. You know what I'm saying? They might be like, hey man, I got the cure to this. I know how to stop that other thing they just created. And we need all the kind of energies
Yeah.
that can help us. Mm.
Definitely. And I've been also realizing that me as a single parent right now, because I will not be single forever, but for right now, I can only put in what I can put into them, the knowledge that I know and help them, but so much, right? Because it is about me. But, I just realized that I need to pay more attention to the different personalities and figure out different ways because every day is different here. So also another thing is that um and I don't know if this is like for a different episode or a different stream. I don't even know what to call this prayer that I'm on. But what
It's
I
called
want to
Parent
say,
Episode 2.
sorry, what you say?
Parent Peace Episode 2.
Okay, maybe episode 3. Me just realizing I can put in so much into them and that when I get my person will be able to come with the rest because I'm already doing a lot.
Right.
So I can only do so much right now. And I have to accept that within myself and tell myself that it is okay what I'm doing and don't beat myself up and be patient and keep, working on what I'm working on. And then that's going to pull in what is needed for us. So that's what I'm not beating myself up about because I be thinking about that like, damn, what if I don't teach them this? I can't do that because I don't know everything. It's
Yeah,
okay.
that's why having certain community situations together is needed. Like not babysitters or daycares that don't align with who we are, but ones that align with who we are. You know what I'm saying? Where you can be like, okay, I I know this particular sitter or this daycare is on the same frequency level I'm on, so they can assist and teach. And same thing with the person that may be teaching him, the man that may can teach them some form of defense or martial arts, or just things that a man can bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? We have to provide those kind of things too. Like say, all right, well, because I know like with me, um, I was able to go and get with someone to teach me martial arts. You know what I'm saying? It was my father taught me, but then when he wasn't there, I still could go identify with my uh, community and get certain things from from the community or either from my uncles and whatnot. And now that I'm an elder, I can be like, okay, well, I know I can handle a certain age group of men, young men, to teach them and help them and guide them and whatnot. And I think the same thing with the youngins, because the reason why it sounds like I'm all over the place because I know the kids range from different ages. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna carry a 5-year old into the same situation you would carry a 12, 15-year old. But just the more that we can the more that we can get back to how we originally were set up as a people, I think the stronger we will be as a people. You know what I mean? And I think things will start taking care of themselves. And as far as like having a companion, you do have to have room to be able to meet a companion. You know what I'm saying? So I get
Yes.
what you're saying. Like if you are single and then you don't have like you don't have no room to even meet someone, what helps in that situation is community. Community can be like, all right, well, I'm taking the kids over here. They're safe. They're on the same shit I'm on. You know what I'm saying? And then I
Right.
can, I can also do the other things in order to, align myself with something that may be for me if the other guy is not there or whatever.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the thing I'm working on because I took them to daycare and you were so right about that. And she rubbed me the wrong way. It was too many, red, purple, green, orange, whatever color flags. And the first time I picked them up, I'm just sharing a little bit of, the daycare experiences. The first time I picked them up, the shoes wasn't tied and nose wasn't wiped the second time. And then the third time she didn't, took them somewhere where I didn't sign no paperwork saying that it was okay. And after she took them, she needed me to sign some paperwork. And
Wow.
I snatched them right out, and it wasn't even 2 weeks. It was probably like a week and a half they've been going there. And then I kept getting waking up out of my sleep, like when I would try to rest because I was so tired. But I kept getting woken up, and I always would check on them. And then they came home and was just letting me know certain things. So, now I found another one which I would consider working there, which I am
Yeah.
considering that, which it was asked, and I said, well, why not? That way
The
I
universe
won't.
wanted you to be somewhere else. That's dope.
Yeah, I won't work with them, but I'll be with the little babies.
Dope.
Which that's fine because I have a very positive energy and I want to be able to change, to share my love. That's, that's what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
Beautiful.
yeah,
That's amazing. And you have the patience. See, you was already
I really
prepped to be
do.
able to do this.
Yes, I
Wow.
do.
So you already come certified. Anybody will be like, "You got six, and you raising them on your own. We need you
Yeah,
because
that's
you
what
got
she said too. Yeah.
yeah. It's not an easy skill set. That's why I was like, I'm thankful you came up here because I hear a lot of women about to lose it after just having two or one child. So I was like, you will be able to give them a different perspective as well. And somebody else
I
just
go
came
through
here.
it too.
Jabril is up here. She don't have children, y'all. I did want to bring somebody who don't have children up here to still see her perspective from just on the outside watching her sisters and them growing up and stuff and other people's children.
Yes.
Welcome.
Hi.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Um, I just want to say that yes, I do not have kids or anything like that. So I was listening to what everybody was saying. I feel like as far as me growing up with my parents in a household with other five other siblings, I do feel like you know, as being a child, the mom and the dad have to uh accommodate, everybody. So I feel like most of us aren't seen or hold on, how can I put this? Most of us aren't seen or heard like we want to be because we have to share it with other people. But I do feel like um as far as like me and my brothers and everything like that, if we had the support, like the true support, how we want to grow up instead of how our parents want us to grow up, I feel like we would have a better relationship. Does that make sense? like
Mhm.
like how
Yeah.
your parents will want you to grow up and go to college or do what they want you to do instead of them taking the time to realize who you are and what you truly want to do. I feel like that'll really push you to have a better relationship with them. I feel like that'll really push you to have a not only a relationship with them but a relationship with trust, with them knowing that they got your back in your best interest, knowing that this is what you want to do. For instance, you know, most typical parents want you to go to college, have a degree and everything, but everybody don't want to do that. Like me, I don't want to do that. I want to be in a business field. It's like I know what I want to do. The more I tap in, the more I know what I want to do, not what you want me to do. So I feel like most parents need to pay more attention to what their kids want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because we grow up and we're unhappy because we try to make our parents happy because that's what they want us to do instead of really like, letting them support us and and seeing what it is that we like and what we want to do. So that's just my perspective. I feel like our parents should take more in the heed of being supportive than criticizing us to do better, if that makes sense. Like I said, I don't have kids, but I feel like if I did, I would pay like close attention to my kid, no matter if it's one and no matter if it's six. I get it's hard, but I feel
Mhm.
like if we feel that love and we know that you're listening, I feel like it's going to create a better bond. I feel like we can go so much farther, but just ignoring our feelings and ignoring how we feel and what we want to do, it's just like nobody's listening, and you have to go out and be like on another lane or another level, and they call you crazy, they call you weird. But when you was growing up, you was telling them that, it was like, mom, dad, I was telling you this is what I want to do, but it's the fact that you don't see what I want to do. Now I have to do it myself, and we create all this friction because you didn't listen to me in the first place. Do you get the picture that I'm trying to say?
Yes, we
Mhm.
do. I
Okay.
Yeah,
get what you're trying to say.
Huh?
I get it too. I get it.
Okay, I feel like I'll be over the
Mhm.
place, and I'll just be trying to make
No, it's
sense.
okay. It's okay. I
But yeah.
totally get that, and I agree. Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
then it stops the upsetness. Because I've seen a lot of parents pay all this money for their child to go to college, and then because that's what the parent want the child to do, then the child drop out, and now they got this. You owe me because I done paid all this money, and then it causes friction because you telling them I don't want to go to college, but they want you to go so they can look good to I guess whoever about your child. Oh, hey, my child going to college. But gee, you really don't want to go and drop out, and that's money being thrown down the drain when y'all can really save all that. Like, what do you want to do? Because I don't want to waste no energy or time. I'm not trying to think for you to do what I want you to do. What is it that you truly want to do? And I tell my son that. I said, don't do nothing that you think you want me to do. You to do. You need to do what you want to do because that way we can be in peace. Because if you got me wasting my time supporting you on something that you really don't want to do because you think I want you to, we're gonna be heading off the wrong foot, okay? So I want you to know that I'm supportive of what you do. Don't think you got to do what I want you to do. What is it that you want to do to see if I can support you in what kind of way? I'm not forcing you to be nothing. Uh,
Right.
Yeah, some parents, and I think it's less and less as the generations progress. But some parents were indoctrinated with that being the only options, as I was saying before, um, and you can understand it too because they didn't have some of the things that are available today. You know what I mean? But the parents still instill certain things in you, as far as morals, you know what I mean, as far as the necessities of life that you could take away. But yeah, I think as a parent, you gotta leave room for, because at the end of the day, the child's gonna do what they want to do regardless. You know what I'm saying? So any parent that's out here thinking that they can completely control their child is tripping. You know what I'm saying? Not when they become a grown person. You know what I mean? You
Right.
can
right.
just, the only thing you could do is give them a strong start, so they're gonna still eventually become what they are destined to become if they put their energy in the right place. So what Young Jay was saying, it's instilling things in them. So then when they do get older, they have some options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some may get and like if you start a trust fund early, start a corporation, and like I was saying, create businesses with them. When they older, they may decide to sell it to something else, but you already did your, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, I did my part. You know what I'm saying? I'll go out there and mess up. There's nothing I can do with that, but try to have your back without it taking me out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and definitely letting your children know that they are meant to be here, and that's what I do to my say to my children every day. Even my 3-year-olds, even if they don't understand, you are meant to be here to change the world, to make it better.
Right.
You're going to go through things. Like, this is how you can't know. But even if they say they can't, I'm like, switch that. Which that I play around with it, but we get serious with it. Which say I can't. Oh yeah, like that.
Exactly.
Because I have babies, but yeah, I'm so grateful that I'm even aware, as far as I am, to be able to change the world and bring love into the world. And like you said, instill what I can instill in them, and continue for them to know that they have to be aware. Like, look at your feet, look at your hands. You are here.
Exactly.
You know, you're meant to. You will never be perfect. You can only be better.
Facts.
So that's how
Exactly.
I live over here. And that's literally no cap. This is how I teach my children every day.
Beautiful. And you're doing an amazing job.
You know, and let them know that it's okay to cry and feel.
Yep. Beautiful. I really thank y'all. Kenya, how the storm holding? I thought Kenya said something about a storm over there. Did she say that? That it was a storm passing or something?
Tornado watch.
Oh, tornado watch. Yeah, I've been seeing them tornadoes. I dreamed about them, and I've been seeing them. This lady
Are
had
you
a
sure?
video the other day.
Yeah,
Huh?
you told me that. You did say you had a tornado dream before these tornadoes
Yeah,
started.
yeah. I was running from it. That's all I remember. I was outside, just like a spaceship. I had a dream that a spaceship fell out in front of me the other day, and now everybody talking about it all over the place. The next morning, I was like, "It's weird,"
You
and
see
I
them
don't
on the
watch TV about
clouds?
spaceships.
Y'all
Huh?
seen them come out? Did y'all see them come out the clouds?
Yeah, I did see that.
They've been saying it, but like I said, I dreamed about it, and now it's all over everywhere. It's crazy to me.
Woo. It's getting real.
They say it's Project Blue Beam going
It
on,
is.
making them theatrics in the sky, according to Dr. Valentine.
Oh.
No, that's what they want us to believe. They want
Mhm.
us
He
not
said the
to be
aliens
happy.
gonna come back and tell us and turn us into the Indians and stuff.
Yeah, he
They
lost
gonna
me
Who
on that.
said that?
Lost me on that. I was like, what?
Uh,
really? I didn't even expect for him to say that out of nowhere. He was like, if anything come back and land, it's those people that something he said gonna turn y'all into the Indians. And I'm like,
oh,
huh?
Yeah,
you all gonna be talking about something. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey y'all, hey.
yeah. He like the
That's what
aliens
the
came to
aliens
turn
gonna
us
come
into
out and say.
Indians. I was like, what?
Well,
red
baby.
red dot or feather Indian? Which one?
Right, right.
I never heard of that before though. That the aliens supposed to come and turn us into Indians.
I
I've
said,
never heard of it.
me neither. Like all the times that they've talked about aliens, they never said their agenda was to turn us into Indians.
He
I
said,
got
no, they're turning us. We're already feather. They're gonna come turn us into red dot Indians.
oh,
Okay.
I didn't know. I was trying to understand it. That's why I wanted, to
Yeah,
see
so
somebody
be
else.
prepared. We're moving to India, y'all.
Right.
Shoot,
Right,
that's man. I
it's
don't know if
crazy.
I'm so.
Gabrielle, she came in and gave a great outside perspective, y'all. I needed her to say that because there
Yeah.
is a lot of parents that can't parent in peace with their children because they are trying to force them to be something that they might have wanted to be or whatever the case may be. And it does cause a lot of friction in the
Yeah.
home. So I'm glad she was able to come in from. I figure if I get someone that don't have children, they can definitely tell you how it feels as the child, of the parent perspective as well, because that do happen. You know,
Yeah, that's
parents have
easy to
big
say.
goals,
That's easy. I
following their
agree with her. I agree with her. But when you do have one, and then they become a teenager, you're gonna see a whole different level
Mm-hmm.
because like you can't like, you want them to have the opportunity. Sometimes you give them the opportunity and they still confused because they got so much coming at them. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they try to take the power away from the parent the older they get because they know that they start getting into a star player. Like you know what I mean? They start understanding things and reality. When they're young, they're protected so they don't see as much. But as they get older, they start getting they watching the stuff we watching plus more. You know what I'm saying? And so
mm,
then they start thinking, well, like I said, I'm confused. You know what I'm saying? Like they go through a confusion stage, and you gotta leave room for that too. You know what I mean? To say, all right, once you figure out that you might be a little confused because it is a lot to process when they're trying to tell the parent when they're trying to take the child away from the parent. And that's why they have them sign up for drafting early. You know what I mean, the age of drafting, if they had to do the draft,
Military.
which I don't even think they have to do it, yeah, I don't even think they even need that. But if they was gonna do it, it should be at least 30, like not 20 or 25 or something, but not 18. Like, yeah, he just
Yes,
turned 18. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like
exactly.
I'm still confused.
okay, I'm sorry. I was just saying, I feel like, because I was like a teenager about what, 10 years ago. So I feel like when we grow up and like be like 16, 18, whatever, from being like a child, of course we're gonna when we young, we're gonna want to be in a rush to grow up. So when we do like 18, 19, we feel like we there. But I feel like as I'm 26, it's like, okay, now I'm really ready to establish some stability. I'm really ready to be where I need to be. And that's what I feel like if if I had that like with my mom or my dad a long time ago, I would have been right, I feel like. But if we ain't got that relationship and it take for me to get older, it take for me to struggle, it take for me to go through obstacles and all that until I get 26, 27, whatever, I feel like, like time is nothing, but I feel like it could have been more better if I grew up around at 17, 18, wanting to be grown, trying to figure it out on my own rather than it would take so much stress away from me just for you listening and you helping me rather than me going through stuff. That's what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I do feel like, now, like even now being 26 and 16 is two different ages. At 16, I didn't care. I mean, it was life. I was ready to live. I wouldn't think about no college or nothing like that or nothing. And so, when that's not instilled in me, I'm not going to worry about it. But it's like when we get the bills, when we get to really wanting to do stuff
I'm
in
about to
life, like
say
I said,
bills.
yeah,
Once
yeah,
you got
yeah. That's
that,
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it take for me to struggle, for me to be like, okay, I want something else. Now I'm ready to go to college. Now I'm ready to live my dream. And I hate that I waited till I feel like later on just to feel like that. But I feel like if I was like had a bond with somebody or had a mentor earlier in life, somebody I could really look up to, it'd be like, okay, I'm 20, I'm focused, I'm head on, but it's all good because I still have time. That's okay.
Yeah, because I know I was watching Jay Z and Kevin Hart one day, and Jay Z was saying he had to realize that his father and them got faced with some stuff too, so they might have wasn't able to be there for him like they should have at the time he needed them too, because they were getting hit with a bunch of shit too. So yeah, that's why I had to realize my mom and dad, I couldn't get mad at them. I had to learn to understand why they wasn't supportive for me or why they wasn't there. I had to look at like, damn, they going through some shit too from what they done dealt in the past that they, haven't healed from. So now I can see why they can't be there for me as much because they got hit with a lot. Not because they wanted to, but it's just what they dealt. So I have to not just be totally upset and learn to love them unconditionally. I learned to love them even though they couldn't get along as parents and raise me either. I was like, hey, well, something happened to them to allow them to not even be able to raise me properly. And so I had to find balance in that because, some people just hate their parents and they go off not understanding that their parents got hit with stuff too. And that's probably why they wasn't able to parent in peace at the time.
I want to know, like, what was in our parents' mind back then, for them not to even be aware and only to think about them. You
I
know what
don't
I
think
mean?
I don't think they did.
I,
Go
I
ahead.
understand how, like, from my experience and just watching, my friends' parents, my aunts, all of them, it's like their mindset, they were on a whole different type of frequency versus this generation now. It's like they chose their selves. They chose to stay in that cycle. They chose that. So the ones that's born now and us being aware, I don't know. It's just my mind. I just think a little different. I always thought like this. Well, not always thought like this, but I was always aware, paying attention. Like, dang, what's up with you? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, I was always aware.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of parents, like, I understand that our parents, they were going through things, but they had a choice and they chose not to. do whatever. They chose not to because they didn't want to. They didn't want
Um,
better.
I would like to add to that. So I look at it like, of course, we know as far as the melanated, us over here, we know that we were at a disadvantage. Even if you had two parents in a household, it was still an economical disadvantage. So they had to get through several attacks, being launched at them directly, indirectly, subliminally through the television, through the churches, through the news, through everything. And we're having the same thing. We can sit here and act like that we ain't being attacked in all kind of different ways. Um, and our kids grew up. Every child is gonna grow up to say the same thing about their parents. Like, man, I appreciate them, but they didn't know they could have did better because it's their turn to try to do better. So naturally, you know what I'm saying, you could only keep getting better. That's the whole objective. Is every time the next one is up, they supposed to get better. You know what I'm saying? So my son told me, right? My grown ass son told me, he said, "What do you make? You make about 90." And he just guessing at it. So wait, you make about 90,000 or something a year. Like, I'm gonna make more money than you. And he said it to me as if it was an insult. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bruh, I hope you make more money than me. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not a competition, but if you want to outdo me, that's fine by me. Outdo me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what I want. But he said it in a way like, I'm gonna prove it, like, and I'm like, well, go ahead. So we got to look at it for what it is in reality of what you're saying, but we also got to have empathy to understand that you'll see if you don't have, when your children, if you don't have an adult child, you'll see they're going to say the same thing about you too. They're going to say, oh, you could have did this and you could have did that, you could have did that. When in reality, and people don't like this shit, but once they're a certain age, you don't got to do shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because you're not legally obligated. So anything that you do is because you love them. And that's the whole key factor to parenting and peace to me, is that no matter what, the mom is usually like, when I've been in trouble as an adult, my mom came through for me. You know what I'm saying? My dad came through for me. Even though
Right.
he wasn't there all throughout my life, it was certain times where it was just like, okay, this is some heavy shit. He showed up. You know what I'm saying? And same with my mom. I get in some trouble, he showed up. And then when they couldn't, the cousins or the aunt showed up. And we gotta have empathy for the fact that we've been under attack. And I applaud women that can raise several children and have to go through that struggle, and she's doing it by herself. That's not no easy shit, and it shouldn't be unnoticed and whatnot. You know what I mean? I don't know.
What happened to
Hey, what happened?
the sound faded out?
Male, like if you are keeping a person away from their child, I don't.
It's fading out,
You know what I'm
Pat.
saying? You're dealing with a superhero, someone that's gonna. Did it pause?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, it's like you said something good and it faded away, right? I
Mhm.
caught it, but didn't catch the good part.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened.
Yeah, it's fading out. The universe must want they wanted to block that powerful message right there.
Yeah,
Then.
that's what happened. Can you say it again?
I don't know where it stopped at. I was just
You said
going.
something about
Oh,
I don't
wow.
think it's right for a parent to keep the child from the something you said.
Oh, I was saying that if someone is not there by because they don't want to be there, I don't applaud that. I also don't applaud the one that's keeping them away from them because it's not fitting their narrative. Like
Right.
some mothers are not wanting the child father there because they are not in a relationship with them, and vice versa. It's some men that's not letting the child see the mother because they want to control the relationship. All that's to me is sucker shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But when it's not that, and it's just, someone trying to work through it, then I applaud that. I applaud the sister that's like, no, he can, be in his life, but he's not, and I'm holding it down as much as I can. That's a superhero, is what I was saying. That person is a superhero. Those kids, some people will say, well, those kids are gonna grow up messed up or something, and that's not true. That's America trying to give us that narrative, and I'm one of those kids, so I'm always totally against people trying to make it seem like because I was raised in a split household that
Mhm.
uh something's wrong with me or something. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at people coming out of two households like, well, what's wrong with them then? You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they acting wild too. And I
Right.
think if we stop judging each other and we get back to the pure thing, love is how you parent in peace. Even if the person is not there and they mess around and get some enlightenment and come back around later, protect the child, but forgive the person because they're up against things that they didn't create themselves. Like they may be indoctrinated in some kind of way. So you got to leave room for forgiveness. You know what I mean? And but still stay protected at the same time because they attack our families.
Mhm.
And with the system, the child support system, and everything, it's been an attack. There. To separate. And you have to realize that too. Because I grew up without parents, really. And I had to, you know, be in peace with myself, knowing that my mom really wasn't able to slow down because she didn't hit. And my father, he don't even want me to be. For some reason, they didn't have a disagreement, and I'm not his because of some stories. Or I never found the truth fully, but at the same time, I still know I had to be accountable for myself. And I watch a lot of people who do grow up and blame their parents because they wasn't there as an excuse to me of why they can't do things, but I didn't have a parent, so I guess that's why I look at it as an excuse to still be, a failure and say forget life and fuck it because your mom and dad don't care about you. It made me embrace life even more. When my mom and dad wasn't there for whatever reasons and purposes, and I'm not here to, bash them. I love both of them unconditionally. My mom is no longer here, and my father never was in my life, but till he went and visit my sister every 2 to 3 times I can remember. But I still love him the same. And I know they had their differences, and I look back and say, dang, they was going through a lot too. If I had my father had to put up with my mom and she wilding like she is now, I see why he didn't want to be with her longer. I could just see all kind of reasons of what happened to them while they was young and in love and made mistakes, and we came and recreated. I still hold my own self accountable and still made a decision to finish school and all this other stuff too. And said all I could do is if I have children, like you said, be better than what I had experienced. Because I'm not fully in peace when it comes to parenting in peace, because I have a parent that don't want to be in peace with me when it comes to raising a child. And I just felt like I got to put this out here more and speak on it for other people who are going through it too, because there's a lot of people who are really depressed because they can't see their child,
Mhm.
or they can't see their mom, or they dead, or they was adopted, and they don't even have a clue who the parents are. It's so much going on around here, and I feel like we all gave some beautiful insight today and some clarity on a lot of things that could really help people who do come across or if they come across this platform. And I thank all y'all again for stopping by here today and building with everybody as well. And if anybody else have anything else to add, y'all more than welcome. People in the comments and everything, if y'all have any questions for someone, y'all more than welcome to put that in there.
No, I agree to what y'all saying for sure. I
I,
definitely.
I don't want to cut nobody off, but I do have one last thing I want to add.
Sure, we're here for it.
Okay, okay. So I think that um, we have to create our own situation, and there's nothing stopping us from creating it, and it's actually an opportunity. They say that the new ideas and the new things that when we're in these kind of depression states of economical depression states and stuff, that's when the best ideas come out. Like I said, I had a friend say, "Hey man, we want to get this van and we want to put a stripper pole in it." And I'm like, "Hey man, why don't we go get a van to pick up the elders with some technology inside of it because they don't know technology, but they can." still experience it because it's already there for them. Same thing with the daycares and the children. So like we need new daycares, we need new things for our community, for our youth that should be being implemented with modern situations versus the old dinosaur situations. And they need to be taught a lot more things because you have all these things that are coming in place that by the time, like, let's say you got a 5-year-old. Okay, if you got a 5-year-old now, we in so-called 2023. Imagine what they're gonna have when they get 20. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be full AI, full kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be flying cars, all kind of other things. So we got to make sure that we already in position to handle everything that they about to throw at them when they get older, and we got to make sure we protect them. So I feel like as a community, we should get back to a modern day community system that is supporting each other without the need of the government trying to tell us how to do it. And I think that's going to help all of us. You know what I mean? It'll help the single mother. It'll help the single father. It'll help the. It'll help us when someone is facing a situation of alienation. We got the team to support to stop that and and resolve it. And yeah, I just wanted to add that. Like, let's also figure out everything that you got a problem with, bring it to the table so we can create a business to solve the problem instead of going to the government to solve it.
Right.
Um,
I totally agree. I totally
um,
agree.
I'm not gonna need a flying car. I'm gonna be flying.
Okay. My sister always said that for years and
Okay,
years.
then.
My sister said that for years, and I dreamed about that shit one day that she flew, and I was mad as hell. 'Cause I'm looking like, why can't I fly in a dream?
Yep.
She used to say it all since she was a little girl. She was gonna be flying one day herself. And according to some people's
Well,
research, we
thanks,
used to
Chantel.
be flying objects. We are angels here flying around. I feel like my wings be trying to come back out every now and then. I'd be like, not yet. Going back up in there. You
Maybe
know
that's why.
what I'm
Maybe that's
saying?
why my. Maybe that's why my shoulder hurts. I'm about to get my wings.
That's why I be telling mine to go back. I be feeling it sometimes, trying to come out out my back. I be like, you feel that little crawling thing up your back? They be on
Well,
wings trying to come out.
whichever one of y'all wings come out first, I'm gonna need y'all to have like some kind of Uber. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to fly in them chicken wings. Use your wings to bring me some chicken wings.
You know, my sister also she teaches yoga for children, and I love that. She said she just chose to do children versus the adults. You know, and she said it helps. With not even having to go through so much. And I didn't even know that yoga was tied to childhood trauma healing and stuff like that until she gave me more information on it or whatever. But that's in the community. She's starting yoga for the children. Like you said, it takes us within communities to do these type of things,
Yeah.
so the children can have a proper way. Because when I grew up, they had the recreation center, they had the Boys and Girls Club, and the older I got, they started ripping all that away. But it's like Papa said, we have to be the ones to keep that kind of stuff, going in our communities, you
Yeah.
know. And
I mean,
for
they
the
still
children to
have
have
it now.
something to do. You say what now?
They still have it now, but these children's minds today is on one thing. And that don't make it no better. These kids today, they over sexualized.
If I had like 6 kids right now, I'm talking about like young kids. If I had 6 or 7 young kids, I would create a business, daycare business, and I would say I'm not gonna run it. Because I need some time for me. So I'm not gonna run it, but I'm gonna own it, and then I'm gonna hire someone to run it, and then that way I can go through and check who they are and everything. They got to follow my guidelines, so I know it's going to operate a certain way. I'm gonna have cameras in there and everything, and then it's going to free up my time, and I'm making money. And then I also come and get my kids when I want to, and I'm helping other people's kids. You know what I'm saying? So we got to think on a boss status when we're in situations like that require boss activity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my mom, I was thinking that with Young Jay earlier. I was like, shit, Young Jay can
Yeah,
have
I'm
her
over
own
helping them.
daycare. That's what
Yeah.
I
I
was saying in my head.
mean,
Like, then she can have her own daycare. That was my thought in the beginning. And for you to circle it back around, that was just spirit confirming it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I've thought about that before, like, maybe 3 years ago. So, but mm,
It could be done.
it can be done.
That's why they're probably introducing you because, Carolinas, they got a way of, what I'm saying? Because then, they'll start giving you more information. You'd be like, you can start your own daycare. It's just how Carolina is. They'll pull you in the ropes and you end up.
Yeah, but make
Mhm.
it spiritual based.
Because you said that you wanted to make sure they was going to even let you exempt from the other thing you told me. So, yeah.
That's why I said we need our own. That's why I said if it's a Indian, if you're Indian, if it's an Indian based thing, I feel more comfortable.
Yeah. You're not
Sorry.
going to be treated. Because I was treated differently in these school systems because of racism.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have to experience that, I could have been more further in the direction that I was going in versus them blocking me to push me towards failure. I was in a system that was pushing me towards failure, not success. And it was due to racism. So you're right. If we have our own, your children won't have to experience what we had to in their racist systematic system.
Yeah.
Yep. I know a friend, well, ex-friend, that said they have their own daycare and they said they put white tea kids in the sun.
No. See, that's why you gotta have your own.
Yeah.
That's a great example of why you should have your own, because you could be getting treated differently than others.
Sorry.
I hope that person gave him suntan lotion.
Mhm.
Like,
Wow.
That's
That's
crazy.
wrong, y'all. That's wrong, y'all. We,
Yeah, that's why I
we
said that's why it's best to have your own.
Yeah.
'Cause you never know what they're doing to your children. Because of their, who they are. So yeah, I agree with Papa. You having your own, setting up your own situations and prepping them to have their own. You know.
yeah. That way they ain't reading them the wrong books and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of them books talking about I forget what some of them books. I was in a grocery. We was somewhere, Ricky, Target or
Yeah.
somewhere, and he's like something with his butt. And it was a kid's book. He talking about his butt. I was like, what the fuck? He was like something in my
Right in
butt, and it was
Target.
like
It was in
what?
Target. Yeah.
Target, yeah. It
Mhm.
was just weird. So I wouldn't want my child having
Very
to read.
pedophile. Yes.
or
You know.
or they might keep they might keep your kids inside and they might not get no sun.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, that too. Like a prisoner. Yeah. Sure is.
Homeschooling is a powerful thing, and what's even more powerful is if you got a school that you can take them to that it practices the same thing that you practice at home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Because Young Jay say that all the time. I'd rather just homeschool mine.
Hmm.
But, homeschool with them and make sure you're giving them your own doctrine, not the lies that they give. Because my
I just
son,
wish
the things they was
some
giving him, his curriculum was crazy before he graduated. I was looking at the questions and the stuff they was asking, and I was like, this is all a waste of mother freaking time. Like, I can't even believe they're making them even answer this retarded stuff. It's like
Yeah,
being a dummy and not expanding your mind for 12 years. But
I
they
just
get them younger now. They get them at 3. They got pre-K, and then kindergarten, and then first
mhm.
grade, and they're all day. So they get them longer now.
I
Hmm.
just wish I would never register mines at all because for real, to keep it real, I'm gonna keep the older two registered and my other ones, I'm not doing none of that. I'm not putting them in the system
Yeah, that's a good
I
at
thing.
all.
understand.
That's why I said we're going to need our own system, so that way, because they'll try to use the legalities if you don't know them, so you got to know how to maneuver around the
Right.
legalities.
That's how they got our parents. We had to go to school or they was gonna get arrested was the thing. So
Mm.
Mm, Texas don't care.
My
for
mom was like, y'all ain't
homeschooling.
making me go to jail. You better get your ass up and get to school.
I might move back to Texas.
Yeah, Texas very lenient on homeschool. They don't they like they make you do like a math, citizenship, spelling, reading, and that's it. That's required. Now, if they're planning on going to college, they say they should have some science and history. But then they don't tell you what your curriculum really has to be about, and they're not allowed to ask. You can homeschool, and if they've never been in the school system, that's even better.
So,
Yeah, because that's a headache. And I be arguing. I be, well, when I tell you I be on fire with these teachers and these doctors, and I got my paperwork and stuff. Uh-uh.
And they let some of these teachers be teachers too young. It's like the teacher be
Oh my
like
goodness, yes.
24 and shit. You like you don't even know nothing.
Right?
I found out most of the teachers that I was getting taught by was on drugs, highly
True.
drugs.
All of them, damn near. Mm-hmm.
They was all over drugs. I was like, dang, that's a wake
Y'all
up call.
stressed them out. We
They
Hit,
stressed them out.
us because they already high and
yep, hitting that vape right before they hit that building.
no, they weren't hitting no vape. They was doing some other stuff.
Oh,
That's
I know
illegal.
now.
But and I actually witnessed teachers having children by the students. So
Whoa.
That's
all of this stuff
crazy.
is a part of why you should be homeschooling your child. For safety reasons. Because I've seen all kind of things in the school systems, y'all. It's just sad. So
Yeah, my oldest two, they asked me to homeschool them, and I told them just finish this year out. And yeah,
yeah, it's a lot of teachers that get caught dating students and stuff. Like, it's the thing. It's reality.
Right. Make sure you say entertainment or research purposes because I know you're on
Entertainment
TikTok.
research purposes only because y'all think TikTok just ended my life because I said that.
Oh,
Dang.
So,
Yeah,
but
I don't know
anyway,
when you had TikTok going.
either way, I said it. 'Cause I forgot that I was on TikTok actually.
it's
I
okay.
honestly
You
forgot
see
you're on TikTok. But even in homeschool with some programs, it's ridiculous. I actually prefer everyone, including myself, to unschool. That's what Doctor. That's the only thing that Dr. Valentine was saying. He was saying pull them out of the school systems and stuff. And like he said, not everybody know that they can do that. So it sounds like what pulling them out of the school. That's the only time I get my break. You
Yeah,
know.
I agree with that, but he really got to make that other thing. And I don't want to change the topic, but he got to make that other thing. He got to straighten that. Like, bro, the aliens are not back to turn us into Indians.
Yeah.
I just don't trust people with my kids, especially now. All right. Yeah, now is not the time to be just trusting anybody. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They don't even know the kid until the first day, and then when they get there, they're like, "Hi, I'm so and so, and I'm from. How long have you been in America? I just got to America like 4 or 5 years ago." And you're like, "Oh
Mm-mm.
shit." Well, you
Like a
better
lady
try
that
to.
like that had my children, she had three different cars, and I didn't even sign a paper saying you're going to take them anywhere. She kept calling me, kept texting me, kept calling me, texting. I had to block her. I'm like, no, like, I don't
Wow.
know you at all. Like, you lucky I caught you here because I'm a little crazy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you got the wrong one. Believe that.
I took my son out of a school because the teacher was acting so hateful and rude to the students, and he was so terrified to go to school. He would cry. I caught my son praying that he didn't have to go to school, so I knew it was a serious situation. And I knew he was telling the truth because the first day I took him there, it was same lady yelling and talking to the kids, cussing them out crazy. And I said, thank God that ain't his teacher. But come to find out, it was, and it got to the point where he was terrified of this lady. So I had to go up there and pull him out of the school because they wouldn't let me go back there to talk to him because I sure was going to make my way back there, but they didn't want me back there to
Hmm.
talk to him. But I pulled him out. He was terrified of this teacher. I've never seen him this afraid to go to school, you know.
I got banned from going to my daughter's elementary school. They said they gave a serve me order.
Wow.
All I, all I did was cuss him out. Like one
Oh,
time she had on a white outfit and she got in the car and I'm like, dang, what you been doing, rolling in mud? And she's like, they made me milk, my milk chocolate. And I was like, they don't have janitors? And so I went in there and I asked them, do they have janitors? And he said, yeah. And I said, well, next time my daughter mops the floor, make sure you cut her a check. Because if you
right.
got janitors, yeah,
Wow.
you need to cut her a check because this is not work like work like school or work program or anything like that, you know. And she was like in the second grade, and
Wow. I
then
would have snapped too.
yeah, and then oh, so many things. And then one time she was sneaking off to come to the car after school. They said when she hit third grade, she can walk to the crosswalk, right? And I like parked in the neighborhood because there was so many cars right by the school, and the neighborhood was like right there where the cross guard is, and then she'll be at the car. And then she did it for the first couple of days, but then this one day she didn't come, so I walked up to the school, and they're like tugging on my daughter's arm. So I told them to let her go. What are they doing? And left. I get like a letter in the mail saying next time I use hell or damn, then I can't come to the school anymore. But I didn't use hell or damn. I know I didn't. Those are weak, weak, bad words. I probably use other words. Those
But
are
you ain't say
elementary
nothing
bad
about
words.
motherfucker.
Yeah, I know I had to use something else. I was like, I said, those words are in the dictionary. Who are you to limit my vocabulary?
Wow. But yeah, my mom had to take me out of school years ago because my teacher was intentionally giving me bad grades, right? And
Hmm.
punished me because I didn't come to school with posters because my mama didn't buy the posters. Even though I told my mom I needed the shit, the materials, she was, on her, drugs, so she wasn't saying about buying me no materials. So I used to get punished going to school before it because I didn't have the posters and stuff. So she would send me to the office because she already didn't like me, and I didn't know why the lady was giving me bad grades for no reason. Because I was passing all my other classes. Because I was learning. I didn't want to be a failure in life. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting the hell out of here. I got to do right so I don't have to live around these crazy family members of mine forever. So I was, focused. And come to find out, my aunt slept with her husband, before. So I was being punished because of that. So they found
Yeah.
out she was doing that and they, fired her after, my mom took my test and stuff and showed that the lady was intentionally giving me bad grades even though I'm getting my answers right. So that was proof and stuff. But that was crazy that I had to go through that, not knowing my aunt and her had issues from the past with her husband. So I was being punished for it. That goes on in school system too.
Yeah.
That was
She should have
crazy.
got over it. She
Huh?
should have got over it. The teacher should have got over it.
Right, instead of taking that on a child. I was
I
like,
know,
that's
right?
crazy.
Yeah, that's the other
Exactly.
thing. You don't know what happened in that school before you got there to where they got animosity built in.
Mm.
Oh, well,
Unless her husband, you said you didn't know your dad, or unless her husband was your dad.
huh?
Crazy.
No, she was saying her aunt.
My aunt.
Oh, oh,
She was
okay,
messing
okay. I
with
was
my
like,
aunt. My aunt messed around with her husband, so
I
they
thought
would
you
be.
said your mom did.
Oh no, my aunt was messing around
Oh,
with her
okay, okay.
and
Dang, that
stuff.
was like double. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like your aunt, like you can control what your aunt does.
Right, like I got to be in fault because of her. And I was like in like I swear like third grade, third fourth grade, getting punished by her because of what happened
Yeah,
that I didn't know
that's wicked. That's wicked.
about. I know, right?
She need to go find something better to do.
I
I
got
didn't know
I
why
got
this lady was so mean to me. I was like, scared to go to class and everything every day because she was so mean to
Um,
me.
I
But
got
and then
kicked
yeah,
off the basketball team because I always share this story that I got kicked off the basketball team because the teacher called me in the N word. Ricky, you on TikTok?
no, they done
Well,
suspended me.
well, she called me the. I still ain't gonna say it. She called me the N word, so I called her redneck, and I got written up, suspended, and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Taken off the team, and I was like, I just returned fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, when
But
that happens, what do they expect? You gonna just take it when you know it's not right? But my mom and them gonna go with what the teacher said. It don't even matter what we said.
and so will the
It's crazy
school. The
what the
school
teacher
will
said.
too.
It was one of them parents. It's what the teacher say, not what you talking
Mhm.
about. So I get it.
These teachers, I know they need to be evaluated before they even become a damn teacher because they don't do enough.
And they can't
Nah,
be giving drug tests or nothing either.
They don't. It's a mess.
Yeah.
they
I had a
tell
teacher
them
that
they
was
tell them when
racist.
they're gonna get a drug test, so they get time to clean their system.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, well,
The
really,
home,
the teachers are not even necessary. And we got to
right.
figure, yeah, we got to
So
figure out
true.
how to, to make it where somebody can be at home teaching the children
Because I went
because
to my,
hmm
okay, Kiki, I'm sorry.
no, I'm done.
Because I went to my son's school and the guidance counselor tried to overtalk me as if she the parent of my child, you know. And I ain't
So,
like, you know, I was talking to him and she gonna have another try to cut me off and say, didn't I tell you that so and so, didn't, like she wanted him to side in her energy. And I said, no, I said what I said. I'm talking to him, And
mm,
my cousin, God bless her, she used to tell me that, that the guidance counselors and stuff be doing that. They be trying to, program the child so the child will not, like he said, listen to the parent to divide the home energies with them, from them to listen to them, not us. They think they're the parent. And it causes parenting issues because your child coming back, under their little
Yeah,
spell,
we had to
acting
go.
crazy with
You
you.
remember that time we had to go off on the principal of Gen Z school? Man, I
Yeah.
had to snap on dude because dude was trying to just do some straight racist stuff, and I had the whole board. I called everybody. I called the county. I called the school principal. I called the superintendent. I called everybody. Like, y'all
Hmm.
is not about to do this, yo.
Yeah, they messed up his whole last year by, having a racist, system, and they didn't want his who he was in that school, and just carrying him differently. And it was crazy to me that they just letting this stuff still, get away, like, and operate this way in today's time.
Yeah,
it's the people that, they let their titles go to their head. You know what I mean? And it's not even with the schools. It's like when I was at the shelter one time and really recently, not too long ago, when this chick, I got tired of this other chick kids. They acting like bats out of hell. They was the other side, acting like bats out of hell. And my
Hmm.
children trying to go over there and play, da 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 da. And then we've been there a couple of days, and I got tired of it. So I said, no, come on, let's go to the room. I'm talking to my children. So this chick, I don't know if she was a supervisor or something. So she was like, um, no, don't talk to your children like that. No, 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 no. While I'm talking to my children, she's telling me how to speak to them. So I stopped speaking to my children. I looked at her, I gave her the crazy eye. I'm talking about double. I gave her that, and I said to her, I said, don't you ever disrupt me while I'm speaking to my children. I don't give a flying who you are.
right.
Right.
Don't you ever do that. And she was just like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Let me tell you, she was kissing my butt because I didn't spaz out. I don't care if I need this place or not. I'll leave. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, no, no, so
Right.
they let their titles go to their head. When these people love their job more than, they don't know how to. It's just people just love money
Yep.
Yeah.
and care about money. That's the issue.
I called in one time to complain at Starbucks about the racism I was experiencing, and the person at the call center said she's not racist. I said, "Sir, you ain't even in this motherfucking state. How the hell you know she ain't racist?" Like he defended her from a call center in a whole nother state. Don't know the lady at all. I'm like, bro, you ain't here. What are you talking
Right.
about?
That's called for real. That's a whole another kind of programming. When you wasn't even there and you defending somebody and trying to tell somebody that they're using their race card.
Yeah, you're not, she's not racist. Like, how do you, what's her name? He's like, I don't know, but she's not. And I'm like, damn, boy, y'all stay on code. Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't even there, but yet was defending somebody. So yeah, that's how it be in society today. If social media or somebody say somebody's guilty, then they guilty. I don't care if the person never met the person or not, they still guilty by association of everybody else.
And it's gonna get worse.
Hmm. That's why that's why this Living Peace podcast is definitely needed because I have to make sure I keep some balance in between this roller coaster ride that we all have in life. And that's
Yeah.
why you are in control of your own peace
Yeah.
through this crazy
Well,
world, like you said.
well, I'm about to. I appreciate you, ladies, man. Thank you
I
for having me up here. Um,
think
I like when I get to come up here and get wisdom from everybody. You know what I'm saying? Get the stories and experience. Ricky, I appreciate it. Uh, I'm gonna fall back. I love y'all all, and everybody that's listening, love you too. Even though I may not know you, if you here listening, that means you have to have some form of positive energy. And peace for me means positive energy activating constant elevation. Y'all stay blessed up.
peace.
Peace.
Well, at least we got a male figure in here today. I just need at least one male figure up in here. And I'll work on more next time. I thank everybody for coming in here today. If anybody else got something to say before we go, y'all more than welcome.
I was gonna say, sis, thank you so much for having this platform. This is gonna embrace the peace more and help so many people and so many families out. We have a whole different type people on this line, and it's great to hear different perspectives. It's great to um get other view because that's what peace is all about, even if it's having to talk to somebody else here or hearing this or hearing that, because we all different people, but we can impact each other in another way. So I do want to give it up to you and this amazing peace movement that's gonna rock all over the world, because we know it's gonna happen. And thank
Yes.
you so much for your wisdom, your leadership, your motivation for us every single day, and always keeping us to live in peace and not pieces. I just wanted to give you your flowers.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't make me cry over here. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you for coming in here, sis, and always support and helping me push peace, even in our hometown, because we need more peace than ever in that hometown of ours. And so be it. So I appreciate you for seeing the vision and understanding the peace mission as well. And I'm thankful for all y'all up here that are peace angels and y'all helping me and others. And while y'all reminding yourselves just like I do by pushing it to be in peace and live in it. And I thank
I
you.
oh, sorry.
What you were
No,
saying,
it's
Kenya?
not.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think I'm getting my wings.
Oh, Kenya, don't you say that. Don't you say such things, okay? Don't you say such things.
I told you I'm never gonna taste death. I'm getting my wings alive.
Okay, which one? Lemon pepper, barbecue, garlic parmesan? Because I'm hungry. Which wings do you want?
Angel wings. I
Oh,
like my
Asian wings,
wings.
Asian flavor. Okay, nah, girl, you already got your wings. You are a walking earth angel, Kenya.
Yeah, right here at 1010, you on it.
So
10
wow.
10. Exactly, 10 10. That means you're a walking earth angel. My friend girl told me my granddad gained his golden angel wings. She was like, "You just don't understand, Ricky. Your granddad telling me they're big and beautiful. They're nothing like we ever thought of." And I'm like, I bet they are beautiful and golden. But I get what you mean, Kenya. You get your peace angel wings. I get what you mean.
Yeah. I'm just saying that my shoulder's hurting, so that has to be the reason why it hurts because I'm getting wings.
Yes. Your peace angel wings. You're more in peace. Somebody said that. They was like, Kenya is a lot more calmer now.
I mean,
Somebody said it in the live. I swear somebody said it the other day. Like,
It's because
please.
probably because it blew my gasket the other night. So probably,
Oh, you did? Oh my goodness.
yeah, you were in there when I was blocking everybody.
Oh yeah, that is right. You did. Yes. Yeah. You tucked the wings for a moment there. I'm putting these wings up, peace wings up for a minute now. Okay, they coming back. I get it.
Put on my wild Indian.
Yeah. Oh, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all today. I love vibing with my angels and appreciate everybody that took the time to even come on here today. I don't know how long we've been on here. Oh, 2 hours now, so that's pretty good because the first show was a little shorter. So I'm glad we got some good energies and perspectives today. And we feel great about parenting in peace.
Girl, you got 8 more hours to go. Where are you going?
Look, gonna get ready to go eat some pizza in a minute. I said, skinny people can't miss no meals. Can't miss not one meal. I hope you enjoyed your pho yesterday with your oxtail legs. I mean,
I don't know
what was it? Octopus legs.
what those were, but it was disgusting.
Mm.
Mm. You should have just stuck to either the veggie or the chicken or oxtails if they had them. I don't like trying new stuff because then I feel like I waste my money.
But
I
their
have
spring
small
roll,
apples.
Say what,
spring
young?
roll was good. Not the fried one, but the other one.
Oh, with the
Because I
white
like
bread with the clear wrap.
yeah, with the fish
They be
sauce.
blessed. Ooh, they be
I don't
blessing
like.
with that. Ooh, with that peanut butter
Mm-hmm,
sauce. Yes. Stop, I'm
mm-hmm.
hungry. Don't do this to me.
Do the peanut butter sauce. I tell them I want fish sauce.
Mm.
Oh, the fish sauce is still good.
Mm-hmm.
Look at Young Jay making me hungry now, girl. Don't be telling him. I was over there trying to eat a little bit of rice and chicken earlier, a little frozen dinner before I went live. And my son probably threw that away thinking that I wanted it to be thrown away. So it's all good. I thank y'all again, though. Unless y'all got some other stuff to add, I appreciate everybody. And I guess we'll be wrapping it up, I guess, in peace.
And
Yeah.
peace.
And next
Of
time,
course.
y'all are always welcome back, all the time. Y'all can always come when y'all want. If I'm touching on a peace perspective that y'all can jump in on, please do come back. I appreciate y'all always.
Well, thank
And,
you.
you're welcome, Yunj, and everybody keep parenting in peace, y'all, the best as y'all can. And parenting in peace with your parents, because I know parents can be crazy too. So my son probably be looking at me like I'm crazy. But hey, keep the
This was
peace.
such a high vibrational conversation.
Thank you, Kenya. It sure was. I loved it. I loved it. It was a beautiful build today.
Now I
The
gotta go balance it out on TikTok.
Okay, I'm at the toxic talk.
Now it's time to go be. Now it's time to go be low vibrational.
Yes, high vibration. I gotta go back a little low vibration. It's just called balance.
I gotta balance it out now.
Okay, love y'all.
All
Love
right.
everybody.
Love
And
you
y'all, I want
too.
to end this podcast for the listeners to tell y'all and remember to live in peace and not in pieces.
Pieces.
Okay,
Okay.
till
Yes.
next time. Talk to y'all later. Appreciate everybody for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.